A new era begins now for West Ham United. Rebuilding of the system and especially in defence. Can these players lift once again to accomplish more at West Ham United? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Players Zone YouTube channel and welcome back to our West Ham season recap for the 23-24 Premier League season. A season of ups and downs for West Ham, a solid start, a poor finish for the club. However, in the end, really successful considering all things said and done. And you lose your best player in your recent history in Declan Rice, and then you still manage to finish in the top half. And I think that is all down to some really, really solid performances. And once again, I think some really great management from David Moyes. Yes, it's not the most exciting football. Yes, it's not the most attractive on the eye. It might not get you 5-0 wins and the like, but you're not going to lose games heavily. And I feel like it's just a bit unjust the way that David Moyes has gone out. The undeserved sacking. But a new era begins here with Lopetegui being confirmed as the new manager of the club, and the way they go forward now with these young talents they've got in the front line, and the need to rebuild defensively. A lot of aging defenders and a lot of quality at the back. If you can fix that up, I think the improvement will be massive for this club. But with that being said, 9th in the season is very, very impressive. A year out of Europe now, a chance to sort of rebuild, restock, and go again for a big Premier League season and potentially some cup runs in the Carabao and FA Cup as well. Looking at their season record, they have a record of 14 wins, 10 draws, and the 14 losses, finishing on 52 points and in 9th place. So once again, only behind the likes of Man United, Chelsea, Tottenham's and these sort of clubs, and ahead of the ones like Brighton, Bournemouth, Crystal Palace, who are trying to break in to that top crowd there. So still really impressive for West Ham. An amazing start to the season they made, and it was sort of just lingered on and just sort of maintained until the fall-off come the end of the season. Coming to their best sign now, and boy, this is great value for money. £38 million for Mohamed Kudus, coming across from Ajax. He had the 8 goals, the 6 assists in his 33 appearances. The 7.1 match rating in the top 1% for successful take-ons this season amongst players in his position. He finished the season off with one of the great goals of the year, a self-bicycle kick in many regards, volleying it up to himself to Bicey into the back of the net at the Etihad as well. Consistently being the most exciting player on that team, consistently being the most consistent performer, someone that's always going to give 110%, it feels like, and someone that feels like they're a little bit too big for West Ham. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with him and his future if West Ham don't perform next season, because he could be on his way out. This club is in a bit of a rebuilding phase now with a new manager, not in Europe, and adapting to a new style of football. So if that's not going to suit Mohamed Kudus, he might want to leave this club and go somewhere to greener pastures, because he was fantastic this season and was the one game in, game out that would bail them out with something special, with this great solo run, setting up a goal for one of the centre halves, through whipping the ball in from a set piece or from a dangerous position, getting into the bar line, whipping them back to centre forwards, providing for those midfielders coming in late to the box or scoring himself. It was just one of those years. He just felt unstoppable at times. And whenever you look at West Ham, it'd be, how do we shut down Mohamed Kudus? How can we prevent him from getting control of this game? Because whenever he got up and about, he got his tail up, the momentum going, it's a hard man to stop. And he's such a real live wire in that team, the energizer for that team, and brings the spark that the West Ham side need, because outside of the likes of him and Paqueta, there's not much excitement in that group realistically. A lot of talent up top, but those are the excitement machines that lift the energy in this team and bring the confidence in the final third there, especially with someone like an Antonio who's struggled in front of goal, also Danny Ings as well. Players have really struggled in front of goal this season, forcing Jared Bowen to play it down the middle multiple times this season. So these are the players who can lift the energy, who can lift the confidence of the side, and Mohamed Kudus consistently this season did that, and the stats speak for themselves. He's just one of a kind, this sort of guy. The worst signing of the season has got to be Konstantinos Mavropanos. Mistake reel of this season. Supposed to be the big signing, coming in and taking over from the likes of Zuma and Ogbonna. But he ended the season off starting with those two. That says a lot, because he was so mistake riddled. Never made the right option. Couldn't really play out from the back. Too slow at times as well. Only made the 16 Premier League starts. He's just not good enough for the league. It looks like he was at Arsenal previously. Didn't perform there. Went to Stuttgart. Was okay there in the last few seasons. Gets the move back to the Premier League at West Ham. Looks like he would fit them quite well in terms of that big-bodied, strong centre that looks a little bit quicker than the likes of Zuma, but just wasn't good enough in the ball. in terms of holding a line, really pathetic at times as well, and able to clear balls at important moments, just continue to make mistakes. Whenever I used to watch West Ham, I'd always be nervy watching Mavropanos on the ball or at the back because something's going to happen whenever he goes near it. So unfortunately, he just brings it on himself, and only the 16 starts in a team that has such an aging back line, injuries frequently, and not really being someone to stand, even when he did start, not being someone that stood out at the back line there as the best there or the most quality at the back. So I think it'll be interesting to see how they go next season under Lopetegui. Does he move him on? Does he get dropped down even deeper to the bench? I'll have to wait and see. But it just has not been a great move all in all. A bit of a waste of money in many regards. So he, for me, is the worst signing. Coming to the moment of the season, it sort of speaks for itself on the final day there. I could have chosen the direct goal from the corner from James Ward-Prowse, but the Kudus self-bicycle kick, the way it was at the 80 on the final day as well, what a magical moment. Against such a great team to do that and score that type of goal says a lot about the player and the character he is. Scoring goals for fun and taking the game on by the scruff of the neck just summed up Mohamed Kudus' season to a T. Just perfection, the way he put that ball in the back of the net. He's been that guy all season for them. As I said, the live wire, the energizer, the magic maker, the difference maker in many games as well. And be so excited to see what he can produce next season because he has these moments in his skill set and the audacity to pull it out as well, and then the way he converted it as well. Says all we need to know about Mohamed Kudus this season. There's so much wrap around him. He's going to be the guy that will carry his team once again this upcoming season, and they're going to be so desperate to keep him because his valuation now is skyrocketing. You think around the 70 sort of million mark at the moment, potentially even more considering who comes in for him. But yeah, once again, what a moment. Again, there's a few because that goal directly from the corner as well from James Ward-Prowse was special at Wolves as well. Coming to the most improved / breakout player of the season, once again, Mohamed Kudus. Again, this segment's coming all about him, but yeah, as I said, once again, coming from Ajax, only £38 million signing. Yes, he was very impressive, but wasn't that guy. But now that he's moved to the Prem, got the attention on him and playing at a big side like West Ham, performing the way he is, he's getting all the raps he deserves, and definitely someone to keep an eye on, especially his AFCON performances as well. I was hearing it was quite good as well. The player of the season, surprised it's not Mohamed Kudus. I've gone with Jared Bowen, 16 goals, 6 assists in his 34 Premier League appearances, averaging a 7.14 match rating. I said earlier, he had to play in the middle a lot of points in the season. He did a great job down there, but I want to see him on the flank. That's what does his best work when he gets his head down. That's running past defenders. Really, really tight dribbler. Keeps the ball close to his feet and can jink in and out of defenders, causing them havoc. And when he just gets into that dangerous area, when he can whip the ball into the box or can curl into the back of the net, you're going to have to get tight to him because if you give him too much space, he'll score, he'll find that pass. And he's been so dangerous consistently this season, no matter what position he's been in. And whether being a poacher in front of goal as a striker or being a facilitator and goal scorer from the flank as a winger, he's just so dangerous and deserves a trip out there to the Euros because of what he's done this season. And he's shown his versatility. He's shown his quality in the ball. We know what Jared Bowen's all about. At his best, one of the best in the Premier League. It's that the drop-off in the seasons past has not been good enough. He can vanish in games. But this season, it felt like in all games, he's always involved. He's always getting touch of the ball, always linking the game up. And whenever the game went through him or whenever West Ham went through him, the result was normally very positive, especially in the final third there. Someone that works hard as well, someone that I guess that owes a lot to David Moyes and what he's done with him at his time at the club. But very impressive. And someone to look to kick on once again this season and continue to be that output guy for West Ham with goals and assists in his game, just coming naturally at this current point in time. Coming now to the priorities for next season, it's going to be I made this a note of it a while ago, keep a hold of Kudus and Paqueta, but also hopefully allow Paqueta to play because from the sound of it, his career might be over with all the betting scandal going on with him as well. Another one's fallen down to this whole betting and betting in their own games and match fixing. It's not good to see, but if he is going to be available, to keep a hold of Paqueta and Kudus is going to be massive. They are those guys, as I said, the magic makers, the difference makers, the X factors in the final third there. They are what gets West Ham ticking in the final third. That's what gets West Ham a lot of their goals. So it's important they can keep a hold, or hopefully they can both play for the side next season. That'll be, I guess, the biggest point because they are going to be so important for their system this season. And Lopetegui is not much different to David Moyes, more defensively sound, defensively orientated. So you're going to need those magic moments for those guys up top. You look at Wolves and what the likes of Pedro Neto used to do. That's what they're going to need from the likes of Lucas Paqueta and Mohamed Kudus to make something out of nothing, to continue to drive and work hard with and without the ball. That's what they're going to need for these guys. And they've got that in their back pocket. We've seen that this season and the last few seasons under David Moyes with Paqueta as well. The second point is to find some defensive cover. You need some depth. You need some starters. You need a lot of... I would almost buy 3 centre-halves if they had the opportunity for West Ham, because you need some depth and quality there. Zuma's on his way out. Ogbono's on his way out. Maverick Panos is not that guy for me. You're going to need some young guys who can play this Premier League type pace and power. So people who can keep up. Look to Serie A. Look to the Bundesliga. Look to these other leagues. We can get, or look to the Championship. Look to players a little bit cheaper rather than spending a lot of money on players you don't know might work or not. And I think go for the younger age. I think that's the way you're going to build West Ham here. Back in some of the younger players to grow with the manager, to grow with the side and continue to improve here. And then the third priority is allow time for the manager to settle in. Lopetegui, again, a good manager, established manager. The way it ended with Wolves was not great in my eyes, but again, not much different to David Moyes. I think fans are expecting some miraculous turnaround. You're not going to get that. You need time for the manager to settle, to implement his style of football and his philosophy on these players here. Allow them time to adapt and develop as well. So I think West Ham fans have been quite needy, demanding like the last few seasons. David Moyes, I guess, has almost blessed them with the European football trips, the cup final, the championship there, and the Conference League. They're going to need time here to reset and rebuild. So I think the fans need to calm down, allow them managers and the fans, allow the manager and the players just to acclimate, get used to each other and develop this coherent style of football. And finally, then for the season grade, I think I'm going to give it a smack bang C. Again, I hadn't really low my predictions, but with all that being said, they started the season so well, they fell off quite poorly. So in the end, it's probably just an average C. Finishing mid-table is probably where they should be finishing, with all that all being said. I think I just underestimated what that squad was all about, and especially the likes of Mohamed Kudus joining as well. So with all in all, I think it's just an average C season for them. Good moments, poor moments. It also leveled itself out. They'll look to next year to try and rebuild once again, get a new younger core in, get the manager's philosophy implemented, and look to push on for season probably 25, 26, when we can see West Ham probably pushing once again, maybe for some European football come that season there. With it all being said, that brings my wrap up to an end. Let me know what you think of my thoughts on West Ham in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed the video, smash a like on it, subscribe to the Players Zone channel for more videos like these, and press that post notification bell so you know we upload our podcast and our videos here on the YouTube channel. I hope you have a great day today. Enjoy the upcoming football, and I'll see you guys in the video very, very soon. Till next time, guys. See you later.